Hello and welcome to ThePrint. Have you ever wondered what happens to the cash that income tax department seizes after conducting raids at premises where they suspect illegal tax evasion? Well, to answer these questions, ThePrint reached out to several income tax department officials and bank officials who have been part of raids to understand the journey of cash from being seized at premises where the income tax department have conducted raids to depositing in the treasury account. One bank official who have been part of the raids said ThePrint that the bank officials are part of the punch witnesses who go with the income tax department as independent witnesses. He said on condition of anonymity to ThePrint that bank officials count the amount seized from their premises in presence of people who are suspected to be doing illegal tax evasion to ensure transparency of the process. After the counting process is complete, an income tax department who was dealing the team which led the investigation and the raids at certain premises, they fill the requisition slip to deposit the seized cash in a treasury account of Indian Income Tax Department. This income tax account of the Treasury of Government of India can be at zonal or a state level. A senior income tax department official told ThePrint on condition of anonymity. After the process of seizure and depositing into the treasury account is completed, the investigating officer of the raids file an appraisal report within 60 days of conclusion of the raids at a certain premises. These treasury accounts are generally maintained in the State Bank of India branches across the country, and the appraisal report and senior investigating officer of the income tax department told quantifies the amount of money that was seized during the income tax raids. After the appraisal report is prepared by the investigating officer, it is sent to the central circle of the income tax department, which works directly under the Director General of Income Tax Department in New Delhi. The Central Circle officer who accesses the appraisal report prepared by the investigating officer of the Income Tax Department lists all the cases against a particular assessee and comes out with what Income Tax Department officials have called assessment order, which lists all the tax liability against a certain assessee who was raided at his or her premises. Then, if the assessee does not agree with the assessment order and the tax liability that they are facing, they appeal to the Income Tax Commissioner for appeal. This is the first layer of defense for the assessee in the case of illegal tax evasion. If they are not satisfied with the two layers of defense that they get from the Income Tax Department and the Appellant Tribunal, then they can move to the High Court and Supreme Court. And the process of the Income Tax Department investigation is completely a judicial process where they get proper response time and also opportunity to present their case. A senior investigating officer of the Income Tax Department told ThePrint on condition of anonymity. Meanwhile, while all the process of appeals and counter appeals by assessees are being carried forward by the SSE and Income Tax Department, the money keeps sitting idle in the treasury account where it was deposited at the first occasion by the investigating officer of the Income Tax Department. A senior Income Tax Department official says that the seizure by the Income Tax Department does not depend on the availability of cash at a particular location, but rather lack of explanation by the SSE. If he said by an example that amount at a certain premise is 20 crore rupees and the SSE is able to show 20 crore rupees worth of transaction in his books, then the amount could not be seized. The IT department seizes only the amount of cash that is not being accounted by the SSE at the time of raids. Then questions arise on for how long that money that was deposited by the Income Tax Department in its account can sit idle in that particular account. To answer that question, ThePrint reached out to Deepak Joshi, a lawyer in Delhi dealing with cases pertaining to tax matters, and he said that the SSE who was raided by the Income Tax Department can file an application before the Income Tax Department within 30 days from the end of the month in which they were raided by the Income Tax Department. He says that he can file an application before the Income Tax Department to seek a release of the amount seized. However, the decision to release the money depends completely on the discretion of the Income Tax Department official dealing with the case, depending on the fulfillment of the conditions that the Income Tax Department asks the SSE to fulfill. Advocate Joshi also told ThePrint that if the Income Tax Department official dealing with the case is not happy with the explanation of the SSE while seeking release of the funds, will seek full disclosure from the assessee on the source of funds. He also said that the assessment order ordinarily takes 12 months from the end of the financial year cycle in which the raids were conducted against the assessee. Lawyer Zulfikar Memon said that neither the assessee nor the income tax department can use the money, and the cash will continue to be in the account it was first deposited in until the investigation is complete. Even after the order is out and there is some amount of money that is found to be accounted for, the evasion of the tax on the remaining amount and the penalty will more or less make it comparable to the amount which was seized by the income tax department. The money seized by the IT department can also attract a parallel investigation by the other law enforcement agencies, such as the Enforcement Directorate, which comes into the picture as soon as there is a proceeds of crime by any assessee, based on the suggestions made by the Income Tax Department in the assessment order. This is Mayank Kumar, Principal Correspondent, reporting for The Print.